Look, I know you've watched these types of videos before. You know the ones. How to retire in 10 years if you're starting from zero. Just do this if you have no retirement savings. Or 50 plus and broke. Here's what you need to build. Yeah, that one's mine. You click, you lean in, and 20 minutes later, you close the tab with nothing you can actually use. Maybe even a little mad at yourself for clicking again. I get it. I'm Christina and I'm 55. I have no 401k, no IRA, no pension, and essentially no savings. And I clicked on all of those videos too, and I got tired of walking away empty. What I'm going to show you today is different. It's not a system. It's not a platform. It's not a gimmick. It's something that you actually own and build. But first, I need to show you what you're really dealing with, because that's the part that those other videos just kind of gloss over. That retirement advice that you've been following your whole adult life, it didn't actually start out as retirement advice. It started out as a dream. 40, 50, 60 years ago, someone ran the calculation. If you put away a little money every month, got a decent rate of return, and stayed consistent, you could become a millionaire by the time you retired. A millionaire. That was the American dream in a spreadsheet. And it caught on fast because it sounded incredible. It sounded possible. It sounded like, finally, a real path. Everyone could become a millionaire. The financial companies noticed, and they did what financial companies do. They built products around that dream. Every mutual fund, every retirement account, every start saving now ad was built to funnel people toward that $1 million number. Every time someone opened an account, the financial companies got paid. Repeating the $1 million story was free advertising for them, and they loved it. Here's what happened in the translation, though. You could become a millionaire quietly became, you need to have $1 million to retire, or you're going to hate your retirement. Nobody questioned it because the original story had felt so good, it had to be real. And we built our entire retirement plan around it. And here's the irony I genuinely cannot shake. I'm going to teach you marketing so you can undo the damage that was done to you by, guess what? Marketing. But before we go any further, I want to ask you something. Did you ever actually question where that retirement savings advice came from? Or did it just feel like fact to me? Did it just feel like fact to you? Because it felt like fact to me. Too many words are coming out of my mouth at once. I mean, the math is the math. Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious because what I'm about to show you next might change everything for you. So whatever your number you just wrote down in the comments, I want to show you something about it because there are actually two ways to get to $5,000 a month in retirement income. The first way is to save your way there. To draw $5,000 a month from savings, you need $1.5 million saved first. That's what the standard 4% withdrawal rule requires. And if you're starting from zero at, say, 53, even with a 10% annual return, you would need to contribute over $5,400 a month for the next 12 years to get there. Now, most of us aren't doing that. Most of us can't do that. The second way, build a business that generates $5,000 a month directly. Not someday, not after years of grinding. A simple, sustainable business built on what you already know that pays you $5,000 a month while you're also building your savings. Same $5,000, two completely different paths. Not a side hustle, not a gig, something you own. Something that doesn't stop at 67 like a salary does. Something that grows as you grow older. Now, I know those words, small business, can feel heavy. And I'm not talking about a storefront or employees or inventory or a big capital spend or the hustle. Don't let your brain go to LLC paperwork and business plans. Stay with me. What I'm talking about is simpler than you might think. Just you doing what you already know how to do, getting paid for it consistently. Paid by the exact people who need exactly what you have. $5,000 a month is $60,000 a year. That is a real livable income in most of the country that doesn't end at 67. Income that gives you more to save right now while you're still building. And here's what I know from having done this. When I launched my membership business, I had nothing. We had sold everything we owned and spent 2 years traveling the country in our motorhome with our 4 boys. The intention was to give them the experience of just being a family together. It was worth every single bit of time and money we spent. And then we came home with nothing. My husband took a job he hated just to keep us housed and fed. Failure wasn't an option. This wasn't a motivational burn the boats phrase. Literally, it was not an option for me. And when you know the only direction is forward, you don't look back. You do everything in your power to move forward. And that's why it worked. My first full month in business, I grossed $6,000. Built from the expertise I already had in the hours I had available with 4 boys at home and a working husband and 1 car. Not because I had confidence or a safety net or even a perfect plan, but because I had no other direction to go but forward. You probably have more than you think sitting right there. You just don't recognize it as valuable yet. And by the way, if you get on my list, I send out the key takeaways, the next steps, and the transcripts of all the videos that I create on this channel for your reference. It is all free. It makes it easier for you to listen and absorb and not have to worry about taking notes. I would love your time watching this video to be used to engage your curiosity, not in trying to remember it all. So get on my list and I'll keep you supplied with the resources that you need to move forward. The link's in the description, or you can use the QR code that's here on the screen. Now, the question is, what do you actually build? Let me give you 5 models, and we're not limited by these 5, but I'm going to show you what they look like in real life. Not every idea is a business worth building, and some of us will waste years we don't have. So as I go through these, listen for the one that makes something in you go, I wonder if I could do that. The first one is coaching or consulting, and this is where you take decades of experience and apply it directly to helping someone else get a result. I have seen teachers, HR professionals, healthcare workers, creatives, managers, service workers. If you've spent years genuinely getting good at something and someone else would pay to get there faster, this model was built for you. This is where my last business started. And like I said, in the first month, I generated $6,000. There was a demand for my services at the time. And the second model is a service-based business. You do the work directly for clients. Encompasses things like bookkeeping or organizing or event coordination or social media management or grant writing or fundraiser planner. If someone is already paying someone else for your skill, this gets you to income the fastest of any model on that list. A friend of mine, she's over 50, she's about 54 now, just launched her bookkeeping business and retired from her career job because she wanted something mobile so she could visit her grandkids. She and her husband travel quite a bit between their kids and their home. It took her 2 months to replace her income. Third is a membership. This is ongoing access to your knowledge, your community, or your curation on a recurring basis. So if people benefit from being in your world consistently, not just once, this is the model. It's also how you build predictable monthly income instead of chasing one-time sales. Think art and music lessons, or business and marketing, or Bible studies, or subscription boxes. So many models, so many ways. My coaching business quickly moved into this model because I couldn't physically coach as many people as wanted my services. So that was that one. Fourth is digital products. You build it once, you sell it repeatedly. If you have a process that you figured out, a system that you've developed, a framework that gets results, you have a digital product. You just haven't packaged it yet. And yes, I too had digital products in that business. And fifth is a physical product business, something you make, design, or even curate. You don't have to be the creator of it. You don't have to be the maker of it. If you create something people want, something they can hold, use, display, or give, this one is yours. Now, you can do this through craft fairs, online stores like Etsy or your own like Shopify, or even Amazon Handmade so you can produce things in bulk. You can sell wholesale or retail. I work with a candle maker who ended up taking her product from handmade and sold at craft stores to a little bit more manufactured, but there's still all her trademark scents and style and design. And now she only sells wholesale, mostly through fair. Every single one of these models started with someone already using what they knew how to do, not something that they learned for the businesses, something that they've been doing for years. Before it ever occurred to them, it was valuable. 5 models, 5 different starting points, all of them built from existing skill, existing knowledge, existing life. None of them required starting from scratch because your knowledge and experience, that's worth something. These aren't hypothetical. Every model on that list has a real woman behind it who started exactly where you are. Now, something in that list, I hope, just flickered for you. Go back to it. Sit with it. That flicker is exactly where you start. Okay, so here's what I'd like you to do right now. Not after 3 more videos. Not when you feel more ready. Right now, I challenge you. I want you to write down one thing, one skill, one area of knowledge, one problem that you've solved so many times, it feels like second nature to you. And maybe it's actually something that people ask you about and you can't even imagine why they would pay for it. Things like, I don't know, how do you have 0 food waste? What's your routine? How do you store your perishables? Wait, how do you plan your meals? Or maybe it's something people pay others for, like, I can't find a handyman help. That will do small jobs for me. I have a shelf I need to put up. I have a light I need to install. Hey, you're handy. Do you know anyone? Something you've spent years getting good at without even trying. Organizing for bookkeeping, keeping events on track, sales, diamond painting, some craft somewhere. Just one thing. I already know what's going through your head or what's happening in your head. You're thinking, I don't know enough. Someone else is already doing this. I need to figure out what the whole plan is first. I did the same thing for longer than I'd like to admit. And here's what I finally figured out. Clarity doesn't come from planning. Clarity comes from doing. The women behind every single one of those models didn't wait until they were ready. They started with one thing that they already knew, and they let what came next show them the path. That's available to you right now with what you already have in your life, in your experience. Write it down, drop it in the comments. I read the comments and I'll tell you what I see, because what you've been calling ordinary, someone out there is looking exactly for that, and it's extraordinary. And I promise you, it's worth more than you're giving yourself credit for. I encourage you to dare yourself to flourish in this season of life.